owe me an explanation when you all up in my explanation. Don't come up in my house no more. If you looked at the video, you can clearly see there was nothing going on. Video, you was too close to him. Okay, well, I was close to him. I wasn't even thinking about how close I was to know. I'm just saying. But she not coming into my house. You deal with that. Them your old ass, sad, sorry ass bones. You deal with that. I don't have to. You lucky I'm doing this much. That's the blessing.
Kendra stood frozen in the doorway, her heart pounding in her chest. She could barely breathe as she tried to process the scene in front of her. The dim light from the bedside lamp only added to the heaviness in the room. What she saw felt like a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. There, tangled in the sheets, was her husband, Jock, and beside him was Mo, someone Kendra had once trusted like family. It hit her like a punch to the stomach. For a few moments, she couldn't move, couldn't think. Just days ago, everything seemed normal, or at least she had convinced herself it was. There had been whispers quiet talk about Jock's strange behavior, his late-night absences, the secretive phone calls he brushed off. She'd heard the rumors, but she chose to ignore them. She told herself it was just people talking, jealous or bored. But now, she was staring the truth in the face. "Jock!" she shouted, her voice shaking with disbelief and rising anger.
The media was making it look like it was more than what it was. You should have reached out. I'm not a bitch off the street. You've got money with my family. Yeah, but I was getting money with him before you came along. It doesn't before matter. You married him. You still owed me a conversation, girl. You've been in my house.
But she
said I don't owe anybody anything. You do. You owe me an explanation when you all up in my explanation.
Jock turned his head. His eyes widened in shock, and then the panic set in. Mo jumped, trying to pull the sheets up around her. Her face looked just as surprised, but there was no excuse for what Kendra had just walked in on. "Kendra." "Wait," Jock said quickly, trying to reach for her. But it was too late for explanations. "Why?" she asked, her voice trembling but firm. "Why would you do this to me? After everything we've been through? Everything we've built?" "It was a mistake," Jock stuttered. He looked toward Mo, almost as if he expected her to speak up and defend him. "A mistake?" Kendra repeated, her voice louder now. "That's all you have to say? You think that makes this okay?" The room went quiet, the tension thick enough to choke on. Mo opened her mouth to speak, but Kendra cut her off without hesitation. "No, don't even try it. This doesn't concern you anymore. This is between me and my husband. Don't drag him into your mess." "I love you," Jock said quickly, his voice desperate and cracking. This didn't mean anything. It was stupid. I wasn't thinking. Kendra shook her head slowly, feeling the tears building behind her eyes, but refusing to let them fall. "This isn't love," she said. "This is betrayal. You crossed a line that we can't come back from." Jock mumbled another apology, but it sounded empty. Useless. His words couldn't fix what he had broken. Not even close. "You didn't mean to hurt me?" Kendra repeated bitterly. "You already did. You shattered everything we had. And now you expect me to believe this was some random accident?" She could feel her voice getting stronger, even though her heart was aching. Her mind was racing with memories, the late-night talks, the jokes they shared, the promises they made to each other. It all felt ruined now. Everything felt like a lie. I thought we were partners. I thought we were building something real. But clearly, I was wrong. "I didn't want it to happen," Jock said, barely audible. "Then why didn't you stop it?" she snapped. "You had every chance, and you made your choice." She took a deep breath, as if gathering every bit of strength.
So I may not ever see you around. You can't respect me. You too. It's okay. Okay. It's cool, bitch. I'ma eat. I can't eat. You old ass hoe. And I've been eating too, you stupid ass bitch. You come see about me. You thought. It ain't never none of that. I don't give a bitch, I don't give a about your gate. If I want to get in them motherfuckers, I could. You talking about can't get in your gate. Hold on.
She had left. "You've shown me exactly who you are, and I'm done being your backup plan." She turned to leave, but paused in the doorway. She glanced at both of them, and her voice came out steady, with cold certainty. You can have him, Mo. I'm done. I deserve someone who respects me, who chooses me, not someone who betrays me. As she stepped out into the hallway, something shifted inside her. Yes, her heart was broken, but she wasn't broken. Not anymore. The doubts and whispers that haunted her now felt like fuel. This pain wasn't going to define her. It was going to push her forward. She felt the cool night air on her face as she stepped outside, the stars overhead shining quietly. She didn't know what came next, but she knew she wasn't going to let this destroy her. The fallout from that night didn't end there. Just a few days later, the tension between Kendra and Mo erupted again. This time, in front of a crowd, they were at a party in an Atlanta mansion, and the whole place buzzed with excitement. But everyone could feel the heat between the two women, like a storm waiting to break. Kendra couldn't hold it in anymore. You really thought I wouldn't find out? She said to Mo, her voice trembling with anger. You thought—
You took that to a whole nother. Yo, I don't want him to stop running like that. You lucky you got him. Okay, bitch, wait.
You don't took this too far, dog.
You could play me like I'm some fool? Mo didn't flinch. She leaned back, smirking. Please, you have no idea what you're even dealing with. Kendra took a step closer. Her voice was calm, but the fire in her eyes made people back away. I know enough. You used me. You took my money. The money I worked hard for. And you thought I wouldn't come for you? Mo laughed coldly. That money? You act like it was really yours. You were just a pawn, girl. Gasps echoed around the room as people turned to listen. The energy shifted immediately. You stole from me. Kendra's voice rang out. And now you're standing here laughing? You should have been more careful with your business, Mo said with a shrug, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Some friends tried to step in, urging both women to cool down, but Kendra pushed them away. I trusted you, she said, and this is how you repay me? Mo rolled her eyes. Come on, you're getting all worked up over a little money? That's cute. In the next second, without warning, Mo raised her hand and slapped Kendra across the face. The room froze. Kendra staggered back, eyes wide. The sting on her cheek was sharp, but it didn't compare to the fury that surged through her. You just crossed the line, she said, her voice shaking with emotion. People stepped in, trying to pull them apart, but Kendra wasn't backing down. This isn't over, she said firmly. You think you can just do what you want and walk away? You're going to regret ever crossing me. Mo flipped her hair with a smug smile. Bring it on, she said. Let's see what you've really got. You don't scare me, Kendra said. I've been through worse.
Don't need to meet you. You understand? Like, me and her talking is not gonna help you be a better father or whatever. I don't owe her nothing. What good do you feel can come out of that?
I got grown kids.
Okay.
So it's very important.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
And I'm not going anywhere. You're about to see what happens when you mess with the wrong woman. Mo's face changed slightly. The smile faded, replaced by something colder. You think I'm the bad guy? You made your own decisions. You were too blind to see what was happening. Wrong, Kendra snapped. I trusted the people closest to me. That's not being blind, that's being loyal. And now, I'm done being silent. Their argument had turned into a public spectacle, and the onlookers could feel the weight of it. This wasn't just about money or even betrayal. This was about power, about respect, about someone finally standing up after being pushed down for too long. You want to keep playing games? Kendra said, her voice rising. Then you better be ready to lose. I'm going to make sure everyone sees you for who you really are. Mo narrowed her eyes. Be careful. I know things too. But Kendra wasn't intimidated anymore. Later, Kendra and Jock sat down for an interview that was raw and painfully honest. They opened up about everything: the cheating, the mistakes, and the parts of their relationship that had been hidden from the cameras. Kendra made it clear she wasn't blindsided. She and Jock had already talked about a lot of the drama before they got married. She recalled one moment when Jock introduced her to Meta, a woman he had history with. Kendra, who's a lawyer, said she met Meta because she needed legal help. Jock had told her about their past. But when the show aired, the producers and Meta twisted the truth, turning their encounter into something dramatic and exaggerated. Kendra also admitted that she'd made her own mistakes in past relationships. She wasn't perfect, but what mattered most to her was honesty and protecting her peace. She was crystal clear she wasn't going to stay with someone who kept breaking her trust. She used a metaphor to make her point. If someone's addicted to gambling on one side of the broom, she said, they're still going to be addicted on the other side. Getting married doesn't fix it. Jock laughed at her intensity, but he didn't argue. Kendra wasn't playing around. She brought up their daughters, asking Jock if he'd be okay with them falling in love with a man who acted the way he did. I wouldn't, he admitted. But I'd always protect and provide. That's not enough, Kendra said. Protecting me doesn't excuse lying to me. She talked about how his choices affected their kids too, especially their sons. His life wasn't a model she wanted any of them to follow. Eventually, the interview felt more like a therapy session, with both of them picking apart their relationship in front of the world. At one point, Jock gently told Kendra she might be sharing too much. I'm not going to tell everyone everything, he said. Just